So it's a Friday night. What are you planning on doing?
You are now listening to Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Let's get into it.
Episode 107. 107. Limited Trust, a Devastator podcast. Hold on, let me fuck with this pop filter here. See, motherfuckers be in here too much. Fucking with my shit. And I know that boy in here fucking around with shit. Because everything's always all fucked up. And I just do things the same every single time. So I know I didn't anyway. Well, if you ask some motherfuckers, they'd be like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. No one ever knows shit. So. Trying to think of what the fuck has been new. This week has actually been somewhat uneventful. I can't remember. Was it last week that... Oh, hold on. Oh, shit. I'm about to sneeze like a motherfucker. Fuck. Bless you. Thank you. I think it was my cousin's wedding. Yeah. It was last Friday, and then the wedding was Saturday. So that shit was cool. Had a good time there. So shout out to them for having a nice wedding. I was a little skeptical at first, being the dirt floor and all at the venue, but you know, it did say it in the invitation to make sure you are ready or whatever the fuck. But it was nice. It was good weather. It was a good fucking time. Man, I roll up, son. I'm I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Something's obviously the fucking matter with me. I roll up with a half gallon of fucking 3 olive. Damn, it sounds like it raining all of a sudden. Half gallon of 3 olives grape and a half gallon of fucking cranberry juice and a cooler full of ice, and I don't even drink. And I just walked in. I went to go take the fucking bag out of the back of the vehicle, and fucking Erica's like, "You're taking it out of the paper bag?" I said, "Fuck yeah!" Like I'm sneaking it in. I fucking walked in with this big ass bottle and fucking plopped it on the table. Our table was the most bumping table of the whole fucking night. I had everybody fucking. There was fucking people yelling and going fucking nuts. It was all right. I had a good time. So shout out to them. So that was cool. And I brought my punch marker fucking Devastator machine. So if you didn't get one of those, hopefully he runs them again soon, because those fucking things are nasty, boy. Oh, what a nasty piece. That's punch marker is my exclusive wedding carry. Just because, because of a couple things. Number one, oh shit, I'm looking at the bottom of this crock and there's a big ass hunk of fucking metal in it. Hear that shit? I don't know why I felt the need to pull my fucking crock off while I was out here, but I did. I had to get some pliers. Oh my god. I'm sorry, everyone. Hold on a second. I'm actually extremely surprised at the size of this. Oh, shit. Piece of fucking jagged steel that I just pulled out of the bottom of my outdoor and basement Crocs. Yeah, I never thought. I always said, them Crocs is fucking stupid. Who the fuck? And then the kids, everyone be wearing them, and the old lady and shit. And I was like, man, this shit is stupid. But then I kept because you gotta wear some footwear in the basement, especially over in the fucking Devastator fucking construction area. So I started wearing everybody else's shit, and I was like, man, these are actually not so bad. I don't think I would ever wear them anywhere, like out, but wearing them in the basement and outdoors and shit, definitely convenient. So I'm real late to the party on the convenience and the comfortability of Crocs, but they're actually not bad. I fuck with them a little bit. So where was I? Oh, I don't know. Where the fuck? I don't even remember what I was saying. I got everyone fucking drunk at this wedding, man. I don't even drink. But yet I go and I get everybody all fucked up. That's my thing. And I like to make sure that everybody has a good time. It's always been that way. No matter what the cost, I've always made sure that it was a good time for all. I always tried to, like if I was the weed man, everyone was going to have some weed. If I wasn't the weed man, everyone was going to have some drink or some drugs or fucking whatever. I don't know. That's probably not good. It's probably not a good way to be. I should be fucking preaching Jesus while I'm at these events. I'm sure everyone will have a good time still. Well, actually, I really don't give a fuck if they had a good time. I'll preach Jesus wherever, motherfucker. For God so loved the world, they gave his only begotten son, motherfucker. What the fuck you know about that? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's Philippians 4:13, motherfucker. Oh, shit. I'm trying to think. I don't really got anything, man. I really wish I had more to talk about. It was pretty fucking uneventful. I'm trying to think of some other shit that happened. Oh, this shit kind of pissed me off, right? So I had to do brakes, rotors, and the fucking rear wheel bearing in the vehicle, in the van. And so I brought it over back to my mom's house, and I ordered the parts and shit. And the way AutoZone, because I tried the other parts stores and they were like fucking 10 days out for brakes. I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta go to AutoZone like a bitch. Never had to do all this kind of shit before. So they gave me like this 20% introductory coupon, blah, 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 all this shit. And the pads and rotors, I already had the other shit I got from Rock Auto, the fucking, the wheel bearings. But I got the, so I got the brake shit, get everything all fucking taken apart. And Stevie's looking at the shit and he's like, these aren't right. This isn't the right shit. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah. He looks, rotors they're smaller. The ones I bought were smaller. The pads I bought were smaller. And I'm like, dude, I typed in the make, model of the vehicle, it like walks you through the whole process. I put in everything and it's like, this is what you need. So I don't fucking know. So I call up AutoZone, the local one by their house, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to get this, and the guy goes, oh, you got fucking 1327, huh? And I was like, yeah, that's what it is. He's like, oh no, you're supposed to get 1589. It's you have the heavy duty model. And I'm like, what? Okay, it's a fucking minivan, dog. He's like, yeah, we got those. Just come on down. And I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe I'll just go trade this shit out. Yeah, right, bitch. I got there. They first, the guy returns all the shit, receipt, all that, whatever. Returns the shit, and he says, all right, well, thanks. And I'm looking at him like, dog. And he's like, oh, you probably need the right parts then, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, what do you? I said, well, look, I need this or whatever the fuck. And I said, I need Excuse me. How about we just give me the right version of everything that I got? Like, whatever. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. So he does, does all this shit. And I think I paid, with the fucking 20% coupon, it was $111 or something like that, right? This motherfucker comes back with $309. I was like, oh. And he goes, oh, that's quite the difference. I'm like, yeah, if you're fucking kidding, right? It's quite the difference. Of course, bitch. It's fucking, what the fuck you talking about? So he's like, well, how about we drop this down and then drop this down a level and blah, 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 blah. So he dropped it down and then threw some bundle on it. This shit was $250. So I'm like, the difference between regular and heavy duty, whatever the fuck, is $150 fucking dollars. Stevie was pissed. He was like, motherfucker. He's like, they know it. And he was right too. And it made sense because, I mean, that was his business, you know. He goes, because they know you come in, you're all dirty. They know your shit is all apart right now. What are you going to do? Say no? And he was right. And that shit was all apart, up on the lift, fucking. So Stevie fucking knocked that shit. And by the time we got back from the parts run, he already did the fucking wheel bearing and all the rest. Everything was just ready to throw on the pads and rotors and be done. So he's a fucking animal, just like he said. Fucking. He said I was just, when I had to do it and his hand was fucked up, man, it just took me forever. I was like a total fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And he knocked that shit the fuck out. Oh shit. So that was quite interesting. And I got to sit with at the wedding. I got to sit with like all kinds of cool people, and people are like shifting out all night. So like, I want to say there was 6, maybe 8. No, not 8. I don't think so. I bet you it was 6 chairs at each table, and I just kept going to get chairs and shit. At one point, I think we had like 12 motherfuckers at the table. It was fucking tight. It was packed. And just talking shit about everything. And I was sitting with my Uncle Larry for most of the night, and a friend of the family, Red. He's funny as shit. And we were just fucking talking shit all night. I like shit like that. It makes me think about fucking, you guys know me well. I'd be fucking reminiscing about days gone and shit. Fucking thinking about what the fuck. I don't know, think about a bunch of dumb shit that doesn't even really fucking matter, But I mean, I guess it does matter. I was listening to some podcast. I can't even remember. I don't know if it was Locked In or what the fuck it was. And the guy was like, and he said something about like, would you, if you could go back to this moment, would you change it? And I think I talked about this before, but I think if asked that same question, it's a tough question. And a lot of the people on the fucking shows, they usually say, I have no regrets. I wouldn't change anything. And I used to kind of think, I used to think that that's the way I felt, and I'm a fucking human. I'm allowed to fucking think about things and change my views on shit. And I think I used to feel that way. But now I feel like there's a lot of things I would change because, I'm happy where I am right now, I'm happy where I am. But who knows, like, who got hurt along the way or who, like, maybe if I could have done things different, there had been less pain for other people or turmoil or, whatever. And I mean, I guess we'll never know because that's, it's not the way it turned out. But you know, it makes me think about that when I hear other people get asked that question. And I have a ton of fucking regrets, man. And I used to want to be, you know, one of those no regrets people, you know. I got no regrets, but I do, though. I got a ton of regret. And I try not to hang on it. I try not to live in the past. Well, no, I do live in the past. Let me rephrase that. I don't dwell on things in the past. I like to live there, though. I do like to be, man, sometimes I could just close my fucking eyes or even just have my eyes open. Sometimes I get like it's probably not an actual flow state like the kind they talk about, you know, marathon people do. But, you know, when I'm on autopilot doing easy like janitorial work and shit, and it's the same place I've been doing for fucking, you know, the last 12 years, once a week. I could just do it. You know, I don't even think about it. Just do it the same way every time, and it just fucking blah. And, you know, maybe once a month, there's fucking, you know, a garbage can's in the wrong place or something. But anyway, so I think about a lot of shit, and when I'm in autopilot, but my point was there is I can put myself back in all these things that happen in these nights or these trips or, you know, whatever. I can put myself in all of these fucking places. So I don't dwell on the past, but I definitely like to live there. I like to visit there. But I do, man, you know, like I would have never been a junkie. You know, I would have never been an alcoholic. And I seen my Uncle Tony's niece. I went to their house, and I probably told you this story as well too. When I was like, I was smoking weed at the time. I think I was smoking weed there. I can't remember if I was smoking weed there or not. Can't remember if that was the trip, because one trip we went to North Carolina, and I was smoking herb the second trip, and then the first trip I wasn't. So I don't remember which one that was. But anyway, and at the time, this was like we went to it's my cousin's. I don't know, is it her cousin? My uncle's niece is what? Is that my cousin's cousin? It must be her cousin. Yeah. Anyway, it's her cousin on her side. But so she's like my second cousin. Whatever. I told you about the way me and my cousin are related. So it's like we got weird fucking family, like, you know, weird family, like we're both related to the same people just in different ways and shit. A lot of the same people. But this was like this was somewhere in the suburbs of Virginia. It was like, I was right outside of DC, because we did the whole Washington DC shit. And doing that with my family was like fucking cool. I think this was the smoking weed trip, because I got pictures of me and I was thugging it. And I think the first time I wasn't really thugging it. I was kind of a nerd. I think, I don't know. I'll have to find out. Oh yeah, it must have been because we were at this other townhouse of her aunt, and I went to the hill to smoke a blunt, and there was like a set of swings on this hill, and we called them the smoking swings. So we went over to the smoking swings. I was rolling blunts and shit in this bathroom when people were knocking on the door. Everyone's trying to get ready to go. I don't remember where the fuck we were all going. We were all going somewhere, and there was this big rush in the house, and I was like rolling a blunt in the bathroom. But anyway, this is the same cousin that got married the other day. And so we ended up, I was hanging with her cousin, who she was like probably in her mid-20s at the time, something like that, mid-20s. And we were all having a good time talking about computers and shit, because that's when I was like heavy in the shit. She's like, oh yeah, I work, you know, it's fucking Cisco, I think it's Cisco networking and da-da-da-da. And she's, and I'm talking to her and her husband, and they were like, they were cool as fuck, and they were like, you guys want to stay at our house tonight? And I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. son, this was the first mansion I had ever been in. We pulled back to the mansion after whatever the fuck we did. I had to ask my cousin. I don't remember. And son, they had 3 fucking BMWs and the Saab 900 in the fucking driveway. I was like, oh shit. You know, the Saab 900 was the shit back in the day. You know, back in the fucking day, motherfuckers had a Saab 900 with the gold spokes. They didn't have the gold spokes, but they had a convertible Saab 900. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is fucking ill, right? So I was like, damn. And then in the house was just like fucking mansion shit. And I was like, yo, where's the fucking computer at? They're like, yeah, let me show you where the computer is at. And they knew what the fuck I was up to. And I was like, you know, just checking in with my people. Like, yo, you gonna believe where the fuck I'm at? This shit is fat. But anyway, she told me, and I was, 15 or something. And she was like, look. She said, if you go and just get any degree, any associates, whatever, get the fucking degree, come down here, I'll get you in with me, with us, at our company, and you'll be set. And I remember thinking like, oh, that would be tits, doing, because that's when I was like coding and all kinds of shit, I could do whatever. And they were watching me fuck around and do all this shit, and I was like explaining it to them, and they're like, they're on the other side of the type of tech world, the white hat side kind of thing. And so then I just went back home and continued to just be a fucking degenerate. And so I think about that, and sometimes I think like, damn, I wish I would have done that instead of being a fucking junkie. Maybe I would have went and just got whatever. She just said it didn't have to be a fucking computer degree. It just had to be a degree. Go get an associate's, whatever, fucking general studies, and then come and fucking work down here. And I can only imagine this was 20 years ago or more. I can only imagine that they are probably doing a little bit better these days than then, So I don't know. But I remember thinking like, fucking, damn, this shit is dope. Like their fucking, the basement, I stayed in their finished basement. It was like the size of my fucking house. It was crazy. I was like, oh shit. So I think I do. I regret that kind of shit. I regret a lot of shit. I wish I didn't stab them fucking people. I wish I just went and stayed the fuck out of it. I wish. And I don't know. Do I say I wish? I guess if I would change these things, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, it made me who I am. It made me who I am. But I don't know. Maybe I could have been a better person. Maybe I could have been, more productive, a more productive member of fucking society than being a fucking criminal. Which is also right now is like fine with me. I don't really fucking care. And I've always kind of been me. Like there's not a really huge difference between who I am now and who I was 20 years ago, and that's not really saying much for me, but it's fucking kind of true. I talk mad shit. I always talked and fucking acted kind of the same. And when I run into people who I haven't seen in years and years, they'll be like, you're still the fucking exactly the same. So thanks, I guess. So I do kind of wish maybe I would have done that. And just seeing, well, who knows, man. But then again, I can do that about a lot of things, like that record thing. If I would have went to go meet fucking Darren Johnston, whatever the fuck, at AJM Records when Ashanti was signed over there, like fucking, if I would have just, I had the vehicle, I had everything, I was just lazy, if I would have just drove to fucking New Jersey to the office and had the meeting, who knows, maybe that could have been something. Or all the other opportunities, the Green Lantern is fucking at Linden Oak Studios fucking come through. Nah, fuck, I need to go there for. I don't even know who that is. Yeah, that panned out really well. Also, so then I guess you could just sit there and do that about everything that didn't go your way. But these are a few key fucking things that really, when we talk about regret, like those things are like, damn, yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. But other things like, I regret not continuing school because, but then, like, then I think like, well, maybe I wouldn't have had the kids that I have. So then it kind of boils down like back to its basic form to that. Would I still have original Ronnie in Bongo Belongo? And probably not. There would probably be a different version of them, but it wouldn't be them. And who knows, and, you could say whatever, I would have never known. How would I have known that I didn't have them? Knowing what I know now. But I think if I were to have to like wake up tomorrow and be back in that position, I would have maybe tried a little harder and tried to get that job and tried to fucking, who the fuck knows, man? But who the fuck knows? It could have been, that could have been nothing. I don't know. Who knows? So those are kind of little things that I fucking think about. But I did have that was a good ass trip. I remember Uncle Tony, because he smoked weed, forever. And he wouldn't, like I remember he rolled the fattest joint I ever seen at that time. Then the next one, like it was like a regular paper, but it was so fucking fat. And the other one, the actual fattest joint I ever seen in my life in person was with this dude named TJ. And we were, I had beef with him for mad long. And I told my mom, I was like, drop me off in Medina. I was like, I'm by myself. I was like, I got to try to find some herbs somewhere. I'm going to walk around and just like try to find somebody to buy some fucking herb or whatever. So she dropped me off and left. I'm by myself. And all I see is this car drive by and someone yelling out the window. And I was like, oh shit, who the fuck was that? And I got beef everywhere, right? And fucking next thing you know, homeboy gets out at the fucking, at the grocery store that was up the way. It used to be Jubilee. And he starts walking down and I was like, oh shit. All right, so I went over by this fucking payphone. And I was just like fucking with the payphone. And I was like, if he comes up on me, I'm gonna fucking bing him with this fucking heavy fucking receiver. I'm gonna start binging him with the phone, to get. And then he got up and I could just see in his face like it wasn't that. As he's like about 15, 20 feet away, I'm like, oh, he looks like actually happy. I'm like, so I'm thinking like either he's a psychopath and he's about to fucking totally fucking hurt me. Or he's actually, because we had like these peace talks and shit. I hate to say it like that. It sounds stupid, but we kind of did. And it was me acting like a fucking asshole, fresh from the city in the country, fucking trying to see how much fucking shit I could stir up. And he was like, yo, fucking, I'm about to go. I couldn't even tell you where. You want to smoke this joint? And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, sure. And we're like walking and shit. And he's like, let's go on the train tracks. And he's like, there won't be, no one will be there to break our balls or nothing. That's when I started getting nervous. I was like, oh shit. Like maybe he said that those people in the car, because I didn't see who was driving. I know there was mad people in the car because he was in the back seat. And he was yelling over somebody out of the fucking passenger window. He was on the driver's side rear. And so I was like, oh shit, maybe he said, go down by the tracks and we'll fucking. So we go down, I'm like, all right. We're just talking. And we got on the train tracks. Son, he pulls out the biggest fucking joint I ever seen in my life. I said, holy fuck. He's like, these are them Bob Marley rolling papers. And I was like, oh shit. And he fucking lit it up, son, and we just walked. We smoked this whole shit, son. I was fucked up. I was hot. You know when like you're out in the summertime and it's hotter than a bitch and it's hot and you just smoked a lot of fucking reefer and for some reason you just feel all fucked up like, you know, it's like being in your house is one thing, or, you know, being on the couch or whatever, you know, like being in a car. But sometimes when you're out in the hot ass fucking summer ass sun and you just smoked a fat fucking whatever, you'll be like extra fucked up. And that's how I was feeling. Boy, I was fucked up. And we just walked and talked and then he went to this house. And by then I was like, oh, we're good. And he went in this dude's house, and it came out, and somehow or another I ended up with the roach. And the guy was like, and he was like, he smoked, and the dude's like, yo, didn't you say you had a joint? And he was like, oh yeah, we smoked that shit. And I was like, damn, yo, like this is his friend. I said, and he fucking smoked his joint anyway. And then he's like, all right, man, well, fucking, yo, it was good seeing you and shit. And then I was slapped up, and then I like remember walking out, and I was like, I had no fucking clue where I was. I had no idea. I was like 100% lost, and I was higher than a fucking bitch. I was like, all right. And well, not a big deal being lost in Medina, but right then at that moment, I was like, fuck. All right, well, let's start walking and fucking see where we end up here. And I'm fucking walking, and I finally found my way and was able to call my mom and shit. And I brought home that fucking roach. It was still fat, but I never found no herb besides that. And so anyway, Uncle Tony rolled a fucking joint like that going to North Carolina. And he was like, I don't care what you do. He's like, but we're not smoking together. I was a kid, you know. And I was like, all right, cool. So he would be like driving, fucking smoking his fucking joint, take a couple hits off it, put it back. And then we'd be at a gas station or something getting fucking fueled up, and I'd be running over and fucking smoking a fucking. So that was kind of a fun trip. I'm trying to think of what, like, we did the whole like Washington Monuments shit. I was fucking all of it, man, smoking blunts. And I remember Amanda's cousin, she parked somewhere. We were out in the BMW with the convertible, and she parked somewhere illegally because how much it costs to park wherever would be more than it cost for the ticket that she got for parking where she did. And I was like, damn, that's fucking gangster. She got back, she was like, felt like she saved $25 when she got the $50 parking ticket or some fucking shit like that. And I was like, that's gangster too. But so that was fucking cool. And it was cool being there with my own family and shit, because it was like all these, you know, school field trips and all this shit. And I would just be like smoking herb, fucking wandering around with my cousin. And then eventually, so it was kind of cool because like we went to Virginia and then fucking DC or whatever, and then back to Virginia and then North Carolina. And I remember I fucking rolled a blunt, and I took some bike out of someone's front yard in fucking Morehead City, North Carolina. And I was just like, it was like just raining fucking just lightly, and it was fucking beautiful weather out, and I was just fucking riding this bike, and I was riding around the neighborhood, my uncle's neighborhood, smoking a fucking blunt, fucking, and then I fucking turned around, rode back, put the bike back in the yard that I fucking took it out of, just fucking threw it back in the yard, and went in the house. It was like, yeah, I guess doing drugs wasn't always bad. I don't think nothing good ever came from it in the end, but so that was fun. But yeah, I regret some shit, man. I regret fucking being mean to people sometimes for the wrong reasons, or not even for no reason, you know, just because they were there. And just some fucking handful of fucking mistakes I made over the years. I do regret some. And I feel like owning up to it kind of means something as well, you know? Fucking knowing that I fucked up and I know the difference, you know? And I would change a lot if I could. You know, if I could just I guess all of us, if we could just custom tailor everything, you know, wouldn't that be nice? I want the same kids. I want the same old lady. I don't ever want to be a junkie. I want to have all the money that I ever spent on drugs, but I want to have that in a savings account. It's fucking and then the stock options and fucking Vanguard, fucking ETF or whatever. So, yeah. That's all I got, man. Be good, you guys. I love you.